Folks, this is Mike Doles, Doles Enterprises. Doles Enterprises is comprised of Mike Doles and his wife in beautiful South Carolina. I'm a building official, master code professional through ICC, got many years experience since 1999 as a matter of fact, as a building inspector in both municipal, county, and also even as a contractor inspector for a while there. So over these years, I've come up with many PowerPoint presentations where I've done some training for other inspectors, and I've saved those up over the years. And now, because of YouTube, what we've done is we've taken those PowerPoints and we're offering those out, and this batch is offered free of charge. And this group of videos, there's going to be 12 sessions, covers residential inspections. Now, this is not for taking the ICC exam. That will be another series, but this is for the inspectors. Now, along with this series, we're also going to have some free documents that you can ask for by going to my email account, which is dolesmichael@gmail.com. And again, we're doing these free. We've got a link where you can buy me a cup of coffee, if you know what I mean, or any other ways that you can support, and we appreciate your support. We're going to try to do this as much as we can and for as long as we can and give this information out to you. The free documents that I can email to you, it will be things like a checklist and also maybe a little practice test. So that's good for you. Now, most of this is on the 2018 and 2021 International Residential Code, so I suggest you have a copy of that available. Kind of follow along. We're breaking it down again into 12 sessions, so take your time, review the information. I would ask for you to please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, because that's how we are able to do all this. So I'm thankful for the format. I feel like as we get older, people like myself, we need to share our knowledge or our time and our experience with those that are up and coming. It's a wonderful profession, wonderful trade, being a building inspector. I've enjoyed it over the years. We're going to be covering some residential stuff here, and so I wish you the very best. Go through these videos, learn all you can, and share the information or ask questions. That's the best way you learn anyway, right? So ask questions, learn what you can, and sit back and enjoy it. Please, again, support and like this channel, and also contact me at my email, and we'll get you some other resources, and I'll try to do everything I can to help you, because this is a trade that, like I said, I dearly love, and I thank you for your time. And so just go through them one at a time and enjoy it. The presentation is based upon the knowledge and opinions of Doles Enterprises and the presenter. And it's not to be considered as legal counsel or to be considered to superimpose any other ordinances of local, state, or national agencies or groups. This presentation is not intended to be used as legal advice, policy and procedure, protocols, nor is it exhaustive in its areas of reference. Just to clarify, Doles Enterprises is Michael and Sharon Doles, and that's the picture of us you see. And we just appreciate everything you folks can do to help us promote this channel by liking and subscribing. So please continue through the videos and support us in any way you can, so we can continue to offer this kind of training free of charge to other folks. You have a blessed day. I want to thank you for taking this course. This series of videos is going to cover 12 different areas in residential building inspections. This is based upon my knowledge and belief of the codes and understanding of the codes, and we'll reference many code sections throughout this. But again, we've broken this down into 12 different sessions, and I ask you to take your time and go back and review whichever ones you need. And along the way, please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel and help us out in any way you can, so that we can continue to offer this kind of training for other folks. The objectives of this program is to provide an overview of the various inspections that occur during the typical single-family dwelling inspection process.
This program is not to be considered all-inclusive. It would be impossible to develop a complete list of all items that can be inspected without duplicating all of the adopted codes and standards. The intent of this program is to spur conversations about how you conduct or prepare for residential inspections in your area. This program does not replace the adopted codes.
It is recommended you have a copy of the current edition of the International Residential Code that is adopted in the area where you work. This series is going to be based upon the 2018 and 2021 IRC as published by ICC. You can get these books from go into a link there in our description of this video, and also you can go for ICC books. You can go to iccsafe.org directly to their website and obtain whatever you need there. So have these reference books available and mark them up as you see fit. Everybody has a little bit different style of studying, and there's a lot of us who have not been in classes in many years, so studying and cracking open these books is a little bit new to us, and so we understand, but I'm sure you'll be just fine. I also recommend you have a copy of the 2020 National Electric Code, NFPA 70, because there are going to be some times we're going to reference directly to NFPA 70, and so it'd be handy to have your code book available and tabbed up and ready to go, especially if you're going to be planning to take an exam anytime soon.
The text of this presentation and any subsequent documents does not necessarily represent actual code language. The presented text may summarize, highlight, or generalize code sections. General reference to code sections has been given for the purpose of verifying the complete provisions of the code for your further review at a later date. Additionally, this program and any provided documents are used as a guideline for the instructor, and no part of this work may be reproduced, distributed, or transmitted in any form by any means, including, without limitation, electronic, optical, or mechanical, without advance written permission from CTI LLC. The electrical sections in the International Residential Code do not provide specific guidelines for temporary power poles, in which typically seen in residential construction. However, in section E3001.2, the scope provisions of the International Residential Code, we find the following language. Electrical systems, equipment, or components not specifically covered in these chapters shall comply with the applicable provisions of NFPA 70, the National Electric Code. Temporary services can create challenges for the installer and the inspector. In most areas of the country, building construction is booming, and there is a huge need for use of temporary construction power. As electrical inspectors and installers in the field, we either inspect, install, or otherwise work with these types of installations quite frequently, if not daily. That being the case, it can be easy to become too comfortable with the electrical equipment that is commonplace and all around us. We may often be a little complacent regarding temporary electrical power. Installations with compromised code requirements would never be allowed, but often are accepted in temporary service installations for expediencies and because, quote, that's the way we've always done it, or because others aren't addressing the issue, and even because of the attitude that is prevalent in many minds in the construction trade, well, it's only temporary. It is important to remember that chapters 1 through 4 of the National Electric Code apply to temporary services. Article 590 states that except as specifically modified in this article, all other requirements of this code for permanent wiring shall apply to temporary wiring installations.
So let's just take a couple of minutes and let's look at some stuff in the National Electric Code in NFPA 70, since that's where the IRC section was it 3001.2 in the scope section? Yeah. In the scope section of the IRC, is going to send us straight to the NEC. So 110.12 says the work has to be installed in a neat and workmanlike manner, and the integrity of the electrical equipment and connections should be substantial.
110.12 says unused openings are prohibited, and 110.16 tells you arc flash hazard warning signage is required. How often do you actually see this on a temporary power pole? And why do we allow it? What really causes me great concern is that we have a lot of jurisdictions that have absolutely no inspections for temporary power. Some utility companies inspect, and as long as they like it, it's fine. So you'll see a contractor using the same T-pole over and over again, and it gets abused because it's thrown around in the truck, dumped around on the construction site and everything else. So it becomes a real safety hazard. And again, it's a great concern to me, and I hope it is to you also. So let's continue with some of this review of NFPA 70 when it's concerning temporary power. 250.53a says the grounding and bonding. It says a single grounding rod is permitted or installed per the NEC. The local utility and the authority have jurisdiction. Typically for a temporary power pole, we've always allowed a single ground rod, but again, it depends on your area. So let's look at that a little closer. NEC 300 says underground service conductors shall not be damaged, buried too low, not protected by a raceway. So when you have that little cabling and it's just running down to the ground and over to a small transformer next to it, a lot of times it's not buried, it's not in a conduit or anything else. There's no exception on this. The code requires that these conductors be treated the same, temporary power or not. And then in 311A it says raceway connections shall be secured to the cabinet and panel. How many times do we see just a piece of 2-inch PVC just shoved up in the bottom of a box or something like that? No connectors, wrong piping situation all the way around, and just a great concern. So again, temporary power should be looked at much more seriously than what we've been doing. The following is a photograph that appeared on social media that was sent to me, and I just thought I'd put it up here for funny and to take a little break. Just want to emphasize that because of the heavy workload that many jurisdictions have, it's often easy to feel rushed or get in a hurry when inspecting temporary services. The thought may prevail that it's only temporary and it's not a big deal. Such assumptions are risky and can be dangerous. So I think this would be a fair question to ask. I'm not trying to stir up a pot or anything, just, you might talk among yourselves and with your building administration department. But a question comes up. If an inspector only holds a certification for residential electrical, should they be inspecting temporary power installations, since all the requirements on temporary power are in the National Electric Code, not in the residential code? Just a fair question to ask. Many utilities provide guidance on the installation of temporary service poles, both underground and above ground. Seen on this slide is one such installation guide. This is subject to the building official's final approval, working closely with the utility provider. In some jurisdictions, electric utilities may provide, and their line crews may also install the temporary service. In such cases, it is possible that no electrical inspection is performed or required, or that the persons inspecting may be professionals in their own field, but are not trained electrical inspectors that understand the hazards and know what to look for to assure a safe installation that is code compliant. If temporary construction power installations are within your responsibility, please take the time to check everything. Make sure we have safe, code compliant installations. This benefits everyone in the trades, everyone in the field, and it gets everyone home safe. Often the person visiting the site for the first time for the temporary power pole may also be looking to make sure a porta-john has been placed on site, that the site address and the permit card are posted, that soil erosion management provisions have been met, setbacks, and other local jurisdiction requirements for lot development. Okay, you've made it this far. Thank you for your attention. I ask please that you buy me a cup of coffee, like and subscribe on YouTube so that we can continue these videos for other folks. And if you'd like a copy of the residential inspection checklist, or maybe a little quiz that we have written up based on the residential code, you can get that by sending me an email to the email address you see here, which is dolesmichael@gmail.com. So please like, subscribe, support this work. If you would like to have Doles Enterprises come out and do a presentation in person to your group, we can certainly discuss that. Just depends on logistics and a few other things, but we'll do whatever we can. So visit our other videos, and we appreciate everything that you're doing, and we appreciate your attention.
Mike Doles again. Just wanted to let you know that we're concluding this session, and I ask you to please go to the next session and take your time. Please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. This is how we're able to offer this free. And also anything you can do to buy me a cup of coffee or any other way you can do to help support this, we certainly do appreciate it. So just proceed to the next session. Take it at your own pace. Don't become overwhelmed. You're not going to know it all to begin with if you're just now starting out in this profession as a building inspector.